At 2:11 a.m., a single 911 call shattered the silence of a quiet American town, and within hours, nothing would ever be the same. On a cold autumn night in Springfield, Illinois, the streetlights hummed softly over empty roads. It was the kind of place where doors were often left unlocked and neighbors waved from porches. But that night, fear slipped in unnoticed. The caller's voice on the emergency line was shaky, almost whispering. There's blood everywhere. I think my sister's gone." By the time police arrived, they were standing at the beginning of one of the most disturbing real crime cases in modern U.S. history. A family that looked perfect. The house belonged to the Miller family, well-known, respected, and seemingly ordinary. David Miller, 42, worked as a financial consultant. His wife, Laura, was a high school English teacher. They had 2 children, 17-year-old Emily and 12-year-old Ryan. To outsiders, the Millers were the definition of stability. School events, church on Sundays, smiling family photos on social media. But behind closed doors, cracks were forming. Friends later told investigators that David had been under intense financial pressure, a risky investment had failed, and debts were piling up. Laura had recently confided in a colleague that her marriage felt heavy and full of secrets. Still, no one imagined how dark things would turn. The night everything changed, police found Laura Miller dead in the living room. There were clear signs of a struggle, but no forced entry. Emily, the daughter, was missing. Ryan had locked himself in his bedroom and called 911 after hearing screams and footsteps running out of the house. At first, detectives believed it was a home invasion gone wrong, but something didn't add up. Nothing valuable was stolen. The house wasn't ransacked, and the killer seemed to know the layout of the home very well. As the sun rose, the case exploded across local news. Headlines screamed, "Teen girl missing after mother found dead." Suspicion turns inward. Within 24 hours, attention turned toward David Miller. He had been out of town, or so he claimed, on a business trip, but hotel records showed he never checked in. His phone location placed him just miles from the house that night. When confronted, David changed his story, saying he felt overwhelmed and had gone for a long drive. Then came the most chilling discovery. Police found Emily's phone discarded near a river 20 miles away. Her social media showed a series of private messages sent just hours before the murder. The messages weren't to friends, they were to her father. The content suggested a heated argument and a secret Emily had threatened to reveal. The secret that triggered everything investigators uncovered, that David had been using Emily's name to open credit accounts. Thousands of dollars in debt were hidden under her identity. Emily had found out and confronted him, threatening to tell her mother and the authorities. According to prosecutors, that confrontation escalated into a deadly argument when Laura stepped in to protect her daughter. What happened next shocked the nation. A carefully built lie. David was arrested and charged with murder and kidnapping, but for weeks Emily's fate remained unknown. Many hoped she had escaped. Candlelight vigils were held. Strangers across America prayed for her safe return. Then, during a police-led search of a remote wooded area, investigators found evidence that ended all hope. Emily had been killed shortly after fleeing the house. The manhunt ended. The mystery was solved, but the pain had only begun. The trial that stunned America. During the trial, David Miller showed almost no emotion. Prosecutors painted him as a man who valued reputation over family, control over love. The defense tried to argue mental breakdown and financial stress, but the evidence was overwhelming. Text messages, bank records, location data. The jury deliberated for just 6 hours. David Miller was found guilty on all counts and sentenced to life in prison without parole. Aftermath and a haunting question. Ryan, the youngest child, survived, but his life was forever changed. He was adopted by relatives and now lives far from Springfield. The Miller house was eventually demolished. Neighbors say the street feels quieter now, but not peaceful. This case forced America to confront a terrifying truth. Sometimes the most dangerous place isn't a dark alley. It's inside a home that looks perfectly normal. Years later, people still ask the same haunting question.